to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah in Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV gossip. And of course, today's Jeff Lewis Live and the Jeff Lewis After Show. I hope you're doing amazing. Did everyone around the country get a taste of fall like we did in South Texas? Okay, by taste of fall, I mean 70, but I literally was by a fire pit and had some s'mores, and I had to bring a blanket out. So that is how Texan that I am. So literally, I know a lot of y'all were teasing me, but that's how it goes. Real quick, I know some really emotional, tough things are going around this world. I'm not going to really touch on that, but know that I am aware of what's going on. It's just not the place. I really pray for everyone around the world, despite the political views. Humans, to me, good humans are good humans. And I wish safety and peace for everyone. The videos that are coming out are just horrific. And I think with modern technology, we see things like wedding videos, things like that are going on, and it's just awful to see. So just know that it is definitely on all of our minds. But this is a place that we're going to talk about other things, right? So let's get started with shout out news. We're going to touch on last night's Roni episode, Kim Zolciak, the Mauricio and Kyle. Like, I think they're punking us, like literally, and a little bit on Andy Cohen and his date and John Hill's date over the weekend. So, and then of course, we'll get into Kelly Dodd and Rick Leventhal on today's Jeff Lewis Live. Get comfortable in comments. I love hearing what you have to say. We love chatting back and forth. At the end, I always make time for questions. If you're watching on the replay, shout out, please like, please subscribe, please follow, and please leave a comment. It all helps with my engagement, and I really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, Kim Zolciak. I don't remember all the drama with Chet Hanks, who was Tom Hanks and Rita's son, but he is apparently on the show, The Surreal Life, or was, maybe, I don't know. We know Kim's been sent home. Now stories are coming out that they might have had a little bit of a show romance. I don't know. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Kroy Biermann, but he's also got a bad side to him. And I don't know that Kroy really had a bad side. What I think of Kroy Biermann, I think of like All American Next Door, Boy Next Door. Sorry, let me get that off. Boy Next Door, like always super into Kim. I do think there's a lot of drama going on now with the divorce and the police being called and some sides of both of them coming out that I don't love. But as Dr. Phil says, you divorce a very different person than you marry, right? So I think that's what's coming into effect there, is that they're both, the worst sides of them are probably being brought out with this divorce and everything, right? Yeah, somebody says Chet was very problematic. Like, I think he's got a history of saying some things. I wonder how old he is now too, because is she like late 40s? I mean, she wants us to believe she's, 29, but she's not, honey. Also wanting us to believe shit that we don't know what to believe. This Mauricio and Kyle Richards of it all, like literally, I'm starting to think they're just punking us, and he is definitely in on it. So we know that last week there was this picture of a girl with her arm a little bit around him, but not like necessarily in a definite romantic way, with his mom and dad out to dinner. And it said something like they were out after his latest Dancing with the Stars episode. I didn't even know that Mauricio's mom and dad were divorced. The most I know about Mauricio is his mom is apparently really good friends with chumps Cole and Patrick, because Estella, she babysits Snow White 90210 whenever they need to go on vacation and they can't take her. So I even think she was babysitting Snow White Saturday night when they were all at Universal Hollywood Halloween Haunted Nights, Horror Nights. Oh my God, it's such a name. So I didn't even know that they were divorced, okay? Or remember that they were divorced. So I saw that picture last week and I thought, oh gosh, what's going on already? But no one was really talking about it. No one that I saw said anything about it or, anything. So over the weekend, I think we saw some stuff starting to say stories saying that was his girlfriend and that she works with him at the agency. And I'm like, oh gosh, because I just saw on his Instagram story last night, he made a video. He's clearly showing the beautiful view of Aspen. He is obviously touching on all the heartbreak that's going on in Israel, but then he moves it to a subject of thanking the viewers because he was really at the bottom of Dancing with the Stars. and he was thanking the viewers for voting for him to stay on, right? Then he kind of alludes to like some personal stuff going on with him the last week, but he doesn't choose to clear up anything. You know, he had to hear this rumor. You know, his mom and dad were getting DMs on Instagram, which is so weird, right? Like, what is going on? Is he dating this girl? What's going on? Then I saw that actually the dad was dating this girl, Leslie, in the picture. And I'm like, oh my God, can this get any more complicated? Literally. Then somebody posts, I think it was Bravo and Cocktails. Thank you for my news source. And I think I reposted it. If not, I meant to. A picture of Mauricio's dad recently posting his actual girlfriend and her name and saying my girlfriend or some love of my life, something like that. So I am so confused. I really think they are doing these kinds of things. They know it's going to trigger us. They know we're paying attention to every little thing. And when I say every little thing, y'all, people are comparing the denim ripped up jeans that Kyle Richards is apparently wearing right now during the weekend that she had with Morgan Wade. And then I guess the next day or two, they're convinced that Morgan Wade had the exact same jeans on. Now, if this is ever a reason for me to become a late in life lesbian, it is doubling my wardrobe. Y'all, I am so cheap. Can you imagine the benefits of not only being in love, allegedly, but also doubling your wardrobe and being able to share clothes? So Kyle used to have a very different, in my opinion, personal style. She has definitely become more relaxed, she is definitely playing into how Morgan dresses, not Morgan dressing how Kyle Richards normally dresses, right? I don't know. I think there's a lot going on there. I also want to know, like, who is staying with Portia? Portia's 15 years old, y'all. I don't even know if the older girls are all done with college. Like, I think you blink and all of a sudden these kids are done with college and you're like, oh my God, I just remember when they were picking a college. We know that Farrah is clearly out on her own, I'm assuming, but Sophia and the other one, I'm not sure if they live at home with them. I think they both work at the agency. So, you know, they got to live in the immediate, Beverly Hills, LA type area, right? I do not know what's going on with that. I just think it's odd that, he had to have known that people were making assumptions about that picture of them at dinner, and for him to just say some things are going on in his personal life, but not say, hey, that's not my dad's girlfriend and it's not my girlfriend. She just works with us. But when you put your arm around someone and she's a hot, cute little blonde, and you don't say anything about who could possibly be at dinner with your mom and dad, people are going to make assumptions, right? So freaking weird. I mean, I was watching Buying Beverly Hills before all of this drama. I was watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They don't need to do all of this crazy ass gaslighting of sorts, gay, what do they call it? Gay baiting. What do you call it when you're like faking like you're in a relationship? All of this stuff. Like, they don't need to do that to get me to watch their stuff. But I am so going to be watching on Monroe's 7th birthday. Yes, October 25th is the date that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is premiering. The trailer looks insane. I cannot wait. They are definitely playing up all the rumors, the cheating on, past of Mauricio's side, the stuff that's going on with Kyle. I am so here for it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Speaking of rumors, Andy Cohen last week, there was some rumors and stories going around, I think on TikTok, basically saying that he is definitely dating his friend John Mayer. I don't see that at all. I really don't. But today on Andy Cohen Live, he talks about having a sober coffee date over the weekend, somebody that he met on Hinge. So I just don't think there's any validity to this. I don't think there's any reason he and John Mayer would have to lie about a relationship. Tell me in comments, though, am I just being naive? Is he covering this up? Is it a scam? Like, I really think John, because John had a date too, a date with somebody he sort of knows. If anyone figures it out, let me know. And the guy shows up to the dinner date, not just a coffee date, not, morning, not a lunch date, a true dinner date. And he's got this crazy ass wig on his head. And the guy goes to scratch his hair and he said the whole thing moved as one. I don't even know. And then Andy says, are you kind of worried at all that this guy is listening to this show and he's going to hear you talk about this date? I don't think John cared. I don't even know. He didn't really say if he would go out with him again. But I'm so curious. Oh, so Joy thinks John Mayer is a straight man. I mean, I think they have a very good friendship. Do I think there could be any leanings toward a romantic relationship? I don't know. I mean, and I just don't, I think both of them seem so secure in their sexuality and their friendship and whatever relationship that is. I would like to think in 2023 that they could be open, whatever that relationship is. So I feel like if it was more than a friendship, that he would say. I don't know, unless they just want to keep it. I don't know. All I know is Andy had a date and he admitted it, right? Okay. Krista says John Mayer is 100% as straight as they come. He's a womanizer playing a game with Andy. So you think he's trying to let Andy think there's a chance, but there's not? Oh my goodness. Oh my. Okay, did you watch Roni? I did just get a DM that somebody said they started watching Roni, the reboot, only because of me. So shout out Jeff Lewis people that finally watch a show that I'm promoting. I think it's so good. I loved it in the beginning, as you know. It is dying out a little bit for me. I didn't love the Sai and her aunt that was over. I felt like there wasn't enough story about the mom. Like, I don't really, do y'all know how she passed away? Did she pass away from alcoholism? Now we find out that she was an artist. Was she a working artist? Was that her job? Like, I just don't know enough about her. I don't even remember when her mom passed away. Like, was it super recently? Like, why am I forgetting all of this stuff? I guess Sai's, I don't know. I can't hide it. I just don't love her. I do feel like all of the women, unless Jenna decides not to come back in season 2, I feel like they're all going to come back in season 2 because I do feel like what some people have said, we need at least 2 seasons to kind of get to know these people a little bit better, right? Like in the beginning, I definitely wasn't loving Jessel. I like Jessel a little more now. I do. Oh, she passed away from a heart attack. So sudden. Okay. Lady Grace says Sai is a one and done, or you hope she is. Oh my goodness. Anyways, but it starts off, Bryn is dealing with COVID, which I get. And I've never thought about this before because when I was watching shows like that filmed during, heavy COVID, which obviously it's back. Alyssa has it right now. Jameson just had it. I'm pretty sure Jeff and Monroe probably had it and they just didn't test a couple of weeks ago, right? I don't know. But Bryn is dealing with COVID. And it seems like there's a camera there with her. It doesn't seem like she's set up a phone and it says like Bryn's iPhone or something like that. So then I'm wondering, like, how do they record people if they knowingly have COVID? Like, wouldn't they just stop filming for a little while? Or they would say, here's the equipment, set this up and have it be your own iPhone or something. Like, I've definitely seen them do that, but they were definitely recording Bryn. So that was kind of confusing. The whole Pavitt thing, I'm team Pavitt on this. I'm not rich enough to have all these rewards and programs where I have to want to get into the Delta Lounge and all this stuff, but I know it's normal. I saw a story over the weekend. Apparently he's a big foodie. Like, I think that's Pavitt's job. Like, maybe he does like social media and he's a big foodie, right? So a couple of years ago, he also made a story about flying to Vietnam or somewhere to get these points. So that is a normal thing. I just don't have normal people like that in my life that is like, oh, I need to go make a flight to Vietnam to get this bomb on. Is that what it's called? I have had these sandwiches before from a part of Houston that, well, everyone in Houston can sell them. There's a part in Houston that has a lot of grocery stores. I think it's like this crusty bread with like this garlicky butter on it with like shredded chicken and some kind of seasoning and like jalapenos. They're delicious. Is it worth getting on a freaking flight to Vietnam for from New York City? Maybe not. Is it worth getting away from 2 rambunctious 1.5-year-old twin boys? I mean, seems pretty reasonable to me. But I'm just over it. I feel like they're trying to dig into their marriage a little more. Now, do I realize there's a lot of marriages that come into a Housewives reality TV situation that are already on the rocks? So I'm not going to say that they're perfect. I don't know them from anything. They could be stronger than Aaron and Abe's marriage for all I know. I don't know. You only know what people present, right? And I think that can be very misleading on a reality TV show. Also, they've been doing Housewives for so long. I'm starting to feel like, and I hate saying this, Bon Me is how it's pronounced. Thank you. Um, I'm starting to feel like some of or all of the New York Housewives, they just kind of know the reality TV game a little too much. Am I wrong? Like, I feel like they know just enough to be spicy. They know just enough what to say. They clearly already have the glam and the outfits and all of that put together, which I understand. But I also respect a Vicky Gunvalson OC season 1 moment where she looks straight out of Kohl's and no glam, no hair and makeup. I just miss all the naivety about it where they don't understand that everything they say and do is going to get scrutinized so much, and they've got to have the hair and makeup done. Even the scene a few weeks ago, remember? I think Ubah got mad at Jenna Lyons because she didn't tell her, hey, this is being recorded. And like, what if I would have shown up without hair and makeup done and I wouldn't have looked on point? You know what I mean? Anyways, yes. And I hate saying that, Hamilton. Hamilton says it seems super scripted. And I don't think it's scripted by Bravo. I think it's already in their head. They already know things that are going to get them on the camera longer. They know things that are going to get them talked about, the sound bites, the TikTok clips, the Instagram reels. They know what's going to get them seated by Andy at the reunion. I still don't officially know what got Jessel seated next to Andy at the reunion. Like, that one's confusing me for sure. What else? Okay, what did you think about this Jessel and Cy? Jessel's like, I had an alcoholic uncle. Cy's like, that doesn't even compare. They all seem to agree that, which, as a mom, it makes me feel good, right? Like, your mom is your mom. Nobody else can take that away from you. And having an alcoholic mom in your life or in your experience is so different than having an alcoholic uncle, right? And even Aaron jokes, don't we all have a bunch of alcoholic uncles? Like, I've got a couple of them, cousins, what have you. So that was kind of funny, but I don't know. I don't like the comparing of, was your life worse than my life? I mean, clearly, Jessel, nothing you grew up with was even close to Bryn's or close to Cy's. Stop even trying to go there. Like, move on to a different storyline. You know what I mean? Try something else. I thought the indoor putt-putt place was kind of cute. Again, I just felt like they were there to like bring up certain things. I thought even the guys' conversation, I felt like they even knew, oh, we're going to get Pavitt to admit if they had sex or not. Like, who cares? Is it that big of a deal? Like, why do they care so much? Like, I don't even know. Like, they almost seem to want gross, slimy details about it. I'm like, I just, if I had to think of a 1 through 10, what I'm thinking of to get from Roni, it is not information on Jessel and Pavitt's sex life. Like, he looks, if there's a princess, what do they call it? A pillow princess? I would expect it to be him. Like, he seems super lame in bed to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but there seems nothing exciting about him at all, right? Oh, wait, what? Annie, I don't know which one I'm talking about. And then Bryn later says something about, Bryn, something about poking a hole in a condom, but only if it's a rich guy. Bryn, you are not, somebody sent me a DM and said that Bryn should have her own reality TV show. And I said, okay, I hear you. I'm open to opinions, but I'm like, what would it be about? And they said, oh, her being single and all of her friends. That's a part of Bryn I haven't even seen on Roni yet. Like, I don't remember any group outings of Bryn. I see her brother that she meets with. Who else? I mean, I haven't seen any of that. We saw the ex-boyfriend who was super cute, but we've already seen her on Watch What Happens Live last time, and she was open to that whole Tyler Cameron thing. So I don't think there's anything going on with the exes right now. Bryn needs to meet Amanda, Paige, and Krista. Okay, I'm open to that. For sure. Let me see what this question is on Instagram. Is Jeff's court date tomorrow? Yes, it is October 10th. And he didn't say anything about it today. If anything, Stu said a snippet about it on the after show today, which we'll talk about in just a second. Yes. Storm says it just comes off as lacking good content. I agree. And as much as I don't want a reality TV show produced, I felt like they did a good job with casting these people. Maybe not Jenna and maybe not even Ubah. Because now we'll talk about it a little bit. Watch What Happens Live. She does admit she's with that guy that she was sharing with Sai that she didn't share on the show. She's still with him. So that's probably, I think she whispered something about it being a year. If you are not, just like Jenna, if you're not going to let us in that you're in a relationship, that's a huge part of your life. And I just don't know that you're housewife material if you're going to hide such a big part of yourself, right? Wait, who took a leave of absence from their job? Hold on. About 90 Day Fiance, you got me interested. Jasmine and Gino. Oh my God, those people. I don't watch Married to Medicine. I tried the first season. I think I watched seasons 1 and 2. Like I know enough about them to whatever, but no. I also don't like that what's her face is going to be on the From Housewives of Atlanta just because she's dating a guy that's a doctor, I guess, right? Like Phaedra, like too many separations on that. So last night on Watch What Happens Live was Ubah. She was completely bugged by her dress. Like she definitely had a good dress on. I think it's a good dress to stand up in, maybe model. I don't think it was a good dress to sit down in because she was so worried about the boobs coming out the side. I guess she had a little bit of a Spanx or a panty situation that she kept trying to hide. Didn't love it on her at all. I thought Matt Rogers was super cute. But as much as I kind of wondered recently if there was any kind of romance going on, maybe potential romance with Andy Cohen and Matt Rogers, that was squashed last night. I didn't feel a professional vibe, like maybe they have a show in the works together. And I also didn't feel any kind of vibe personally. And I do think, no, I think John likes Andy Cohen likes a really tall guy. Like he said his date this weekend was like 6'4" or 6'5". Wait, he said he was really tall. He's definitely got a type. And so I guess Matt Rogers isn't that type. Oh my gosh. Let's get into today's Jeff Lewis Live. Andy, Kelly Dodd, and Rick Leventhal were on. They all were at, like everybody, the after show was Carney and Chef Stu. They all went to Universal Halloween Horror Nights. Oh my God, that is such a tongue twister. $478 a person. I don't know. That doesn't seem that bad to me. What do you think? If that avoids you standing in a line for 2 to 3 hours for just one ride, or these haunted houses that they said some of them weren't even that great, I almost think $478 isn't that bad. And it got you dinner at the buffet at the Moulin Rouge and drinks. Like, I don't know who has gone to Universal recently and can tell me what a ticket after the fees and everything are paid. So this weekend, I was looking through my BravoCon receipts on my email, and I realized I bought 2 tickets because my girlfriend that I'm going to was on an African safari whenever the tickets went on sale. So I bought 2 VIP 3-day passes. Y'all, the fees alone for 2 tickets were $499, the service fees. So $250 a person for the 3-day VIP tickets. Service fees drive me up a freaking wall. I don't even want to see them. Add it into the price. I don't even want to know about it. But what I'm curious is what a regular Universal Halloween Horror Nights ticket cost that doesn't get you past any of the lines. Because we heard the caller call into the after show say that she paid a little bit extra, and I think she said she paid about $400 a person. So if you're only paying $478 to go on this tram, you've got a buffet, you've got all these things. You can ride a ride 2 or 3 times in a row without having to get on and off. That is so worth it. Like, that's not that much money. I mean, considering It is, but already a regular ticket costs a lot of money, right? So I don't think 478 is a ton. He does mention MJ, how she wasn't there. I was a little uncomfortable because I do love my Paige. Shout out Paige Davis and her Christmas card that she sent to me. I don't know. I thought Kelly, and I listened to the Rick and Kelly show this morning, so they'd already talked about it a little bit. I knew that she was talking about some people that she didn't think should be invited back next year. And she and Jeff start off with that. And they pretty much say Paige, and then maybe even Krista shouldn't be invited back. I don't know. I was super awkward about that. Like, I felt for Paige because I did watch her story this weekend. It's already disappeared, so I didn't screen record it. But her story was like, I'm terrified. I'm drinking some calming tea. I'm watching a calming show, which I think she said was Sister Wives, which is hilarious. It apparently all petrified her. I don't know that she should have went, but I feel like she thought she could hang out and maybe not attend all the stuff and still have fun and experience it. But I think everyone there wanted her to do all the stuff and they wanted to see her freaking out. But I think after the first thing, she was not having it. Oh, somebody says she was dramatic. Lola Gucci says, I love Paige. Me too. But Lola Gucci, did it make you feel, I don't know, I felt like they were picking on her. I don't disagree that Jeff was maybe disappointed. Kelly was definitely disappointed, but also Kelly doesn't hang out with the chumps, right? So she doesn't necessarily, I'm trying to think of the times that Kelly has like been on these big chump cooking kibitz and things. And I can't remember if Paige was there last year. I'd have to go back and try to find a picture of her at Halloween. I mean, I know they've been hanging out since it last October for sure. But I can't remember if Paige was there or not. It was super awkward. Who knows? But it doesn't sound like Paige is going to be invited back next year. I also only counted 21 people in the picture. So the ones we probably didn't know, now we know, is Debbie, the cute blonde that some people thought was Taylor Armstrong, is actually Jeff's makeup girl. Like, I never even knew, he's never even talked about her, which makes me wonder how she got an invite. I feel like anyone in Jeff's inner circle, like a makeup girl, like he talks about his stylist Julie, but he doesn't necessarily tell us fun stories about her. So I feel like she's either said, don't really say stuff about me, or there's nothing to say. And I feel like Jeff always keeps super interesting. He likes people to make him laugh. He likes people to entertain him. So I feel like there's so many probably makeup artists out there that could be also entertaining. Why doesn't Jeff like swap her out with somebody that is? Like, why have we never heard of this Debbie? But yet she got an invite. So it also sounds like there was like 2 or 3 other spots opened up. Who was the other person? There was someone else in there. I think the person at the top of the big group picture was somebody, they were probably the lead person that was showing them around, right? Paige is Paige Davis, one of the chumps. I loved the videos. So Kelly, anytime Kelly Dodd is with Jeff, she is going to post some really good videos. So she posted part of it. I think Monica Casey parted. A lot of people shared stuff and the guide, yes, shared stuff. But Jameson acting like the tram guide. Oh my God. Kelly and Rick were so impressed by him. They even said on the Rick and Kelly show, we have got to get him a show. Like, he is so big. He is so talented. Like, we've got to let everyone know how amazing he is. I love that for Jameson. Y'all, he's finally getting rewarded for all of his improv that Jeff Lewis has always made fun of him about. Like, I'm so happy for him. But I kind of wished that Frank was with him. I wish that his boyfriend Brandon was with him. Did they say why he couldn't come? I don't think. We know that like Ben and Megan were there together. We know Rick and Kelly were there, and Jeff and Stu. I don't know. Did Shane and Brogan look a little extra cozy? Or am I just like dreaming that up? Am I just being super hopeful? Pole and Patrick were there together. But other than that, Jeff made it very clear we weren't going to like invite like a +1 for everyone, right? They couldn't exactly have that. Oh, somebody said Paige took Brandon's ticket. Well, I feel like they had, like I counted. There was only 21. Okay, Carney wasn't in the picture, so we got to add her back. 22. I don't know. I need to go look at that picture again. Oh my God. The pictures of them coming off the rides, though, were hilarious. I disappointed in Jeff, though. There's one ride where everyone is petrified and Jeff is like this, like crouching. I'm like, are you that much of a pansy, Jeff? Like, oh my God. He did make some slight jab at Heather McDonald, which, considering that Rick and Kelly were on, Rick and Kelly did bring up Heather this morning, talking about they are still friends with her. I think she said she talked to her on the phone yesterday or today. And, last week or so was Kelly's birthday. They said they talked for that. So she's made it clear she is still friends with Heather McDonald. But then they chose to play the Jeff Lewis Investigates promo, which I already saw on the Jeff Lewis Facebook group. Somebody thought that was a new promo they'd made, and it's weeks old, if not more than weeks old. It's about the earring and her losing it, and Kelly. It's because Kelly, they've got a clip of Kelly and they're saying whenever she texted Jeff during that show and said, she didn't care about the earrings. She thought they were fake. She wasn't going to go back and look for them, right? Hopefully they've worked that out, I'm assuming. I love the videos. I love the pictures that they post. I love Doug being the guide and acting like, follow along, let's go here. Kelly loves Doug. Who wouldn't love Doug? Oh my God, he's just so fun. I feel like he can have a conversation. He can do anything. Like, he can just have fun everywhere, right? I don't know. Yes, somebody said Julie and Brandy missed the fun this week or at the Halloween night. I did sort of wonder, like, who listens to their Patreon? What are they about lately? Do they have any jobs coming up? Like, nobody's updated me recently. Y'all used to tell me stuff about Brandy and Julie on their Patreon. Nobody's told me anything recently. Are they going back and doing these cruise ships that they were doing for like a week or two on going on? I'm curious. Somebody let me know. And if you want to just tell me in DM and me not repeat it, of course I won't repeat your name. But if you want to just tell me, I'll just not say who told me, obviously. Pole falling down a whole bunch. He's so little. If you've never met Pole, he is so little in real life. But I can totally see him being super scared, super dramatic of saying, am I becoming a foot model? What the hell is that? No. Oh, is that for real? Victoria says, Brandy and Julie had a candlelit evening at home. They're not dating, right? Are you just joking? Because they really don't date. Like, Brandy is married to a hot dude, y'all, since 2007, which is crazy. What else? What else from the pictures? Can you imagine waiting 3 hours for a ride, though? Like, I just can't even imagine. I'd be looking, if I were them, and I'd be like, wait a minute, how are you getting past all these lines? How much did you pay? Do you think any chumps saw them in the wild? Like, one chump called in on the after show and said, I changed the date whenever I heard y'all were coming and I could never find y'all. How do you miss 20 something loud ass obnoxious chumps in the Universal Studios lot? Like, how do you miss that? Oh my God. I'm just dying. Laura says, I can hear Paul screaming. I can too, but y'all, he is like, okay, they probably don't like when we talk age, right? Here's their cups. This is one of the cups that somebody gave me that had the Armenian coffee grounds reading with. If I had to guess, I would say Pole. My finger won't come out of this. How old do y'all think Pole is? I mean, young to mid 50s, probably. I can't imagine falling down that many times and not having like major soreness the next day. Julie and Brandy have an interview with Jacques Peterson coming out. Okay, who is Jacques Peterson, Storm? Jacques Peterson. Speaking of interviews, y'all, Justin Martindale, the newest chump who was at the Universal thing. He is on Bethany Frankel's Rewives podcast. I think it came out today. I did know about it coming up, but I couldn't say anything. But I'm so excited for him. Like, that's huge. And then this week, he'll be back on Jeff Lewis Live on Wednesday. Google says Pole is 57. Y'all, when I tell you he looks 37, I'm not even kidding you. But also his personality and the way he dresses, his energy level, it makes him so seem young for sure. Oh, unpopular with Jacques Peterson. He's Australian and friends with Zach Peters. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so Google, he is 57. Y'all, I'm just saying. Oh, Frank's family was in town, is what you had heard. Okay, so that's why Brandon wasn't there. Oh my God. Smeg says, you got to have a thick skin to be a chump. I think it's hilarious seeing Justin there. It's like, Heather, who? Haha. Not touching that because, I heard over the weekend that my name was brought up on that awful Reddit website app, whatever the hell that thing is. I don't know. Somebody sent me some screenshots, a couple of you. Um, and there's clearly one there called like Juicy Scoop Snark or something that really goes in on Heather McDonald. And somebody was saying, oh yeah, they were like praising me, saying, oh yeah, that Jeff Lewis obsessed girl, she hates Heather. That is not true. There's nothing about me that hates Heather McDonald. There's nothing about me that I'm just honest about Heather. Like I've more repeated what other people, huge Juicy Scoop fans, have told me over the last few months about y'all thinking that she's changed. I don't listen to her podcast enough to have an opinion on how she was versus how she is now. But I also have a ticket to her BravoCon show for BravoCon. So, and I had one last year. So I wouldn't say, and I'm definitely not somebody that wastes my time and energy, hate listening or hate watching to people like some people apparently do, especially to go to a live show. Like I'm going because it seems interesting and I'm going. Um, yes, you're going to see Heather. People are listening to clips. I think so too, Jolly Girl, that people listen to clips and they pick out bad things. And that's what Jeff said weeks ago is, whenever he gets a DM saying, oh, I heard you said this, and this about me, he basically ignores them and says, but did you listen to everything I said about you? Because you're probably getting clips of things I said, and that can always be edited wrong for sure. For sure. Okay. What else? Are y'all watching this TV show, The Summer I Turned Pretty? It's on Amazon. Carney's watching it. Jeff's watching it. Stu's watching it. Y'all, my teenage daughter is watching this. She read the book and she loves it. I didn't think 50-year-old people were watching it, but I don't know. Now I'm like, maybe it does sound good. I don't know. I definitely like a story where it's about relationships. That's probably why I like reality TV so much, although I do think it is getting a little bit more, not even scripted, just more, like I said, I think they know the assignment. They understand the assignment. They know how to stay relevant. They know how to cause just enough drama. They know the sound bites to say. I think they probably think about their scenes, think about what they're going to wear. They kind of rehearse things in their brain. Who was it recently? Somebody was saying, it might have been MJ, saying somebody on Shawls of Sunset or someone on the Hills. Somebody recently was basically saying one of the stars on the show, one of the reality stars, would completely rehearse their scenes and like say what they were going to say in a mirror. And I feel like that comes across. And I feel like as long as reality TV has been on, they see the end game. They see how to get more viewers or more followers on Instagram. They see how to get more brand deals. Does that make sense? Oh, Cheryl Crow on TikTok says, I listen to her regularly, then her podcast became boring. Are you talking about Heather McDonald? I wasn't sure who you were talking about. Yeah, and then, yeah, somebody just brought up Heather Dubrow. I feel like Heather Dubrow, being an actor, she has actually, to me, come across more real than some of the other housewives. And not even on OC, because I really don't think, besides Tamara, I do think Tamara kind of is playing into the camera this season, so I don't really love that. But I think all the others, I think they are truly genuine and they haven't let the reality game get to them. But coming as an actor, I don't think Heather Dubrow plays into the camera at all. Or I'm super naive and she's just playing me really, really good. What else is on the after show? I thought Carney and Stu really get along well. As much as I've said I like Carney with Doug, I still do. But I feel like Carney and Stu have a real friendship, a real respect for each other, and they want to be together. They were even talking a couple of times on the after show today about trying to get Jeff to let them use his kitchen, either at his rental or his new house, and film something, cook something together. So they definitely have cooking in common together. But I think there's more to it than that. I think they just like each other. And I think when someone likes each other on the after show, they're probably a good fit. Did y'all hear I guess this was on the either Heather's Patreon comments this weekend or on Reddit. I can't remember where, but a lot of you were sending me messages saying that the Juicy Scoopers were fueling this rumor that the Jeff Lewis after show has been canceled. I don't know. All I know about that is usually when TV shows are canceled, it's very quick. Like they just announce it. They don't give like, oh, we're going to be on for 2 more weeks. They just cancel something, right? Have you ever seen your local news guy and all of a sudden he's just not there? And at the very end of the day before, they just say, you know, he's moving on, or they just announce someone new. That's kind of what they do in the TV world. We knew last week he had a week's worth of Jeff Lewis after show co-host. So if they are thinking about canceling it, I have no idea. We have had 2 weeks of replays or archives, as they call it, of the Chump Happy Hour. So I don't know if that's thinking about being canceled. I don't know. I don't want any of them to be canceled because I would like to think the Chumps would do this without even getting paid or without getting paid as much. So maybe as the months, 6 months, a year it takes to kind of get things rolling, that the Chumps would be willing to pay less or get paid less to keep the show going. Because I think it's really good. I like the idea of them both for sure. NW Shelley says Jeff was negative about Channel 789 last week. I definitely think there's been some meetings. I definitely think they're talking money. And, you know, I remember early on a Chump Happy Hour or after show maybe that Leah Black was on, and Jeff kind of came into the show and you could hear the tension. Well, he had just had like this business conversation with Leah Black about the show and with Doug Buden, actually. So he said he bounces a lot of like business ideas off Doug Buden too. Cheryl Crow says Jeff is thinking about stopping the channel. Ooh, how do you know? Tell me more. Tell me more. Well, that is about it at the very end. Get your questions ready. I want to see what your questions are. They can be pretty much anything. I mean, pretty much, but not everything. Jeff does talk again at the end, this Hollywood Housewives season 2 premiere, and he wants to ask Amazon how to get chumps like us an invite. So if you're new, I did get to shout out Donna Bowling. You did get to hear that last June 2022, I did get invited to the Hollywood Housewives season 1 premiere. So it would be amazing if some other chumps were invited also. It is going to be in December, but true to Jeff, he never really seems to give details until the last minute. So we'll just have to see how that goes and what they do. Right. Sal says, Mr. Nerdy Teacher, that would be so cool, especially for people that it's easy for them. Because what happened last time was a lot of people ended up canceling because they got invited last minute and then they didn't have a flight. They didn't have time to plan for it. So you gotta have time to plan for it, right? Oh, Kim said, did my daughter like her college visit? Yes. So my daughter, and I left Friday afternoon, and Saturday was this whole day event, you know, like they do at colleges where there's panels and you can speak to your intended major and professors and housing questions, you know, all kinds of questions. So we had toured this university before, and she only decided to apply to 3 different colleges. And this is the only one in Texas. And I think I know after Saturday, because we just paid the housing deposit. She's already been admitted, so that's great. And she has decided on this college in Texas. So I'm so thrilled for that. And a lot of you were wondering if my son passed his driver's test on Friday, and he did. So we now have 4 children that can drive. And I don't even want to look at my car insurance bill. Don't even want to look at it. Blah, blah, blah. Somebody said, do my kids like Jeff Lewis? No, they will listen to him. They're old enough now. My youngest is almost 14. So if he's on in the car, I almost always change it to something, you know, music on the like hits 1 or 8 on 80s. I put it on Yacht Rock, the TikTok radio show. They don't want to listen to talk radio. So they tolerate Jeff Lewis, and they ask me enough questions about him to tolerate him. But no, they're not fans of Jeff Lewis or Bravo, sadly. What other questions? Oh, Joe Smith, sorry, where'd that go? Well, where did it go? I personally don't see it. Do you think Heather McDonald will mend issues with Jeff Lewis? I think anything can always happen. Y'all, I still hold out hope for Jenny Pulo. So call me crazy, right? But yeah, I definitely think they could. Somebody sent me a DM and asked if I thought there was going to be a Heather McDonald, Jeff Lewis showdown at BravoCon. And I'm like, no, like, I definitely don't want a showdown between chumps and juicy scoopers. Like, I feel like we're all fans. I love that people get super protective and cautious of other people. But in the end, we're all just fans. We're all here to have fun, right? We can have an opinion. We can definitely like someone more than another, and we can say that safely. But I don't feel like we need to come at each other. And I think sometimes people get way too invested. As much as y'all, my fan accounts are Jeff Lewis obsessed, I don't feel like I'm super invested in that way. And I take it personally, like, y'all, we're just here for fun. Victoria, no. Do I think Heather will ban you from her Vegas show? No, she better not. I'm just a fan. No. Anyways. Okay. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining live. I promise you it is way more fun. If you're watching on the replay, shout out. Make sure to like, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to make a comment. If you are lucky enough to have a Jeff Lewis or reality TV friend or family member, please share my account with them. Everything is on social media as Jeff Lewis Obsessed. It would be so amazing. Yes, Dames Who Dish, I am going to Heather's Vegas show, just like I went to last year for sure. Anyways, bye, y'all. Bye, Chumpets. Bye, TikTok.